Okay, we are recording.
Yay! Well, welcome everybody to our Coach Open House. This is Team W.I.T. If you don't know what that stands for, it says it right there, whatever it takes. We are an amazing team who has actually really just grown and formed really awesome relationships over the past year or two. And this has been such a journey for us. And we are just really grateful and happy that you guys could make it on the call today. What we're going to really do and cover is a couple things. Obviously, you're going to hear from everybody that's pictured here, their stories through coaching, kind of how they got started, what it's done for them, and what maybe their vision is as well. And then we're going to get into some logistics of, how to sign up to be a coach, what are the vital behaviors, and all of that kind of stuff. So to start off, we are going to talk about a couple things.
Okay, so we want to talk about what it means when we say coaching, because I know a lot of you, follow us on Instagram, or we've talked maybe a little bit here and there, and we want to make this as simple as we possibly can. So the first thing that we do as coaches, we commit to our own fitness journey and our own mindset. And I know you're going to hear so much tonight from our stories about why that has been a game changer in so many different ways. And then we really just share authentically, and we are ourselves. And I think that's what I like the most about this is it's really just given me the freedom and the platform to just be me and share my life and be real. And I think just like Lauren said, because we're doing that, you connect with people who are just like you, first of all, or maybe very different from you, but relate on a certain deeper level, which I think that's kind of what our team is made up of. And I think you'll see that tonight. And then the last part of coaching is we recognize others' hard work and we shout them out when we see them doing awesome, awesome things. Okay, so we're going to throw it over to Jenna Brown. You want to take it away?
Oh, hi. Okay. Hi, it's me. I'm Jenna Brown. That's my picture. Can they see me and the picture at the same time? Oh, you can't hear me. I can't hear you. Okay, anyways, I'm Jenna, and I am one of the three Jennas that are on this call currently. But I'm Jenna Brown, and I'm a coach, and I'm super excited to share with you guys tonight, so welcome. A little bit about me, or kind of what coaching has meant to me. That middle picture you see is me with two of my three kids. I was pregnant with our third. While I was lying in a hospital bed. That was a little bit over a year ago when I was working over full time, running a nonprofit that I had started that I was super passionate about, but ended up totally burning out. Like the hardest burnout you could ever have. My body totally failed me, and I ended up going septic from a kidney infection while I was pregnant. And it's crazy that I survived it. I'm super thankful and grateful. But basically, you can imagine that for me, this was like my wake-up call in life and my health and like what I was doing for work and what really mattered to me, which really was my family. And I think that the biggest thing that came out of that experience was just one, I spent a whole year recovering because my body was completely shot. But the minute that I had our daughter and I could move my body again, I knew that like health was actually going to be a priority for me, not just something I like talked about. I was pretty healthy, but I wouldn't say that it was like where the like all my money was going or my time or whatever. Anyways, and so I started coaching shortly after that, and I've been coaching since the summer, and I've loved it because it's allowed me to really use my passion for business and helping other women entrepreneurs, and really like sharing about mind health is huge for me. Coming out of, I had PTSD and postpartum depression and all the things, and so helping specifically moms make those connections with moving their bodies and exercising and healthy body image and healing and recovery and all those things has been super cool for me. And this opportunity has allowed me to do it. So we talk a lot about as coaches, like you're not selling a product, you're selling yourself. And that sounds creepy, but like you're really selling like you. It's not like about me trying to get you to buy a product. It's me trying to share with you my life and my story, and then invite you into creating your own life and your own story that you dream and imagine. So for me, coaching is huge because I'm able to be home with my kids. I have 3 kids, and also have something that I'm super passionate about and energized to do, and help others at the same time, but really work towards this goal that my husband and I have for our future, for our family, financially. So that's been super cool because it started out for me as a hobby, or like, maybe I'll get a discount on this thing I love doing. And then once I saw the possibilities and the freedom to create something that felt so real and authentic to the core of who I am, I just was like, let's do this. So anyways, that's a little bit about me.
I love that.
I do too. And I love too, I think you really authentically came into this just for the discount. And now once you've learned more about it, I just love that you've poured yourself into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's really true because I remember Jenna telling me, I just want to kind of just work on myself, work on my health and fitness, and then maybe we can talk about actually coaching down the road. And I'm like, totally fine, do that. And then I'm pretty sure it was like, I don't know, a couple weeks later, she was like, yeah, I'm actually ready to actually coach. I'm like, that was fast.
But I feel like that's a misconception that a lot of people have when it comes to coaching, because it's like, they have a fear that they can't take the business side of this on because they'll let themselves go in the process. And I honestly found it was the absolute opposite for me and for a lot of us, because we're pouring ourselves into our own journey before we can share it. Because if you're not on your A game with your own fitness journey, then there's not a whole lot to share. So when it comes to all of that. All right, Lauren, tell us your story.
All right. I don't know if he's going to interrupt me. I will get it in 1 second, Cameron. Okay. So obviously I'm a mom. Everybody can see that. So this is like such a crazy story. I can't even believe that I've been coaching for a little over 2 years now, because I started from like no social media experience, super introverted, not really like public with my life at all. People couldn't even get a hold of me on my phone barely because I just was never attached to my phone. I never was like that type of person. And I was always kind of insecure about putting myself out there. So you kind of see in my pictures here of my before and after, the girl after I had my son, that was about 8 weeks after I had my son. I had a C-section with him. I was really struggling hardcore with just accepting motherhood, which I know sounds really crazy because, people are like, what do you mean accepting motherhood? But I just had a really hard time kind of going through postpartum depression and really figuring out who I wanted to be as a mom, a wife, Lauren Mayer, like a teacher, all of those things that I was in that picture, until I really started focusing on myself, which sounds crazy. When you're serving all the people around you and you're not pouring that back into yourself, it gets really draining and exhausting, and you start kind of second guessing like what your purpose is even at all, and your happiness is kind of drained. So I started just working out, honestly, with Beachbody. I've known about Beachbody like my whole entire life. I did P90X in college. I did T25 just randomly, and I bought those DVDs. I'm pretty sure Nick actually bought them for me and my husband for my birthday one time. So I started doing those before my wedding. I was doing T25 and things like that. So I was familiar with Beachbody, and I always really liked the home workouts because I felt like it kept me more, consistent. And I just felt more confident. I didn't really know what I was doing at the gym. So after I had my son, I started working out at home, and I started kind of feeling a little bit more like a human because I was doing something for myself. And that is when my coach, Jenna Lockhart, reached out to me on Facebook actually, and just kind of saw that I did get a little bit ballsy and posted a transformation photo one day because I was really excited about how I was, feeling finally like Lauren again. And she asked me to coach with her, and I jumped on the opportunity like I didn't even think about it. I was like, this is something that I feel like I need in my life right now to keep me more accountable in my fitness journey, because I know if you are a mom or you have a lot going on in your life, you can be consistent for some time and then boom, you're just not anymore because life hits you and you don't have that support system there that's like, no, keep going, don't quit. And so I just knew that this was the most perfect fit for me in terms of my own health, keeping me consistent, but also meeting other women who were like me. And growing up, I mean, I have a really amazing group of friends that I grew up with. I'm still friends with a lot of people I went to high school with. However, like none of them are in the same phase of life that I am right now. Like none of them have children. They're still in that like phase of going out and stuff, which is fine. I like doing that. But it was really hard for me to relate to them. And I just felt like I was missing something, that community piece. So you can see that in the middle. That's actually last year we went to Utah with a bunch of coaches. They paid for some of our upline coaches, paid for us to go on this amazing retreat. And I'm telling you right now, I've never had so much fun with a bunch of girls. Sometimes that can be a little intimidating going on a trip with a bunch of women. But I'm telling you right now, it was so much fun. I connected with so many people because we're all like-minded in a sense that we like to work on ourselves and make that time, but we also really, really, truly love helping others get to that same place that we have gotten ourselves to. So it was just such a strong bond. And then throughout me just coaching as like a fun hobby thing, I was just doing it, like I said, for community. I was able to make enough income to retire or quit my teaching job. And I had been teaching for 6 years up until the point that I was able to quit. And teaching for me, just, I really lost my passion for it. I was going to work every single day, just dreading it completely. I had so much anxiety. My husband was like, I don't know how much longer we can be doing this, because I was so riddled with anxiety. I still do have anxiety over different things, but that was like something that was crippling to me. And so the fact that I was able to leave that job that was like poison to doing something that I'm so passionate about, I literally cannot wait to go to bed so that I can wake up the next day and work on my business and be present with all of you guys and the clients that we work with. It's absolutely amazing. So that's my little story of coaching.
I just think I can't even imagine if I never would have reached out to Lauren on Facebook. Like, where would we be? Because now
I don't know.
because she's my best friend in the entire world, and we really, I don't think we'd said 2 words to each other before that.
No.
It was just meant to be.
Nope, it was.
All right, Elizabeth.
Is she on?
Yeah.
I'm here.
Oh,
Yep.
okay, there she is. I didn't see you.
Can you
Yep.
guys still see the screen behind us? Can you nod and tell me if you can?
Yeah, I can see it.
I can see it.
Perfect.
Okay, I'm Elizabeth. I am also a mom. I have 2 little boys. So I just actually got home, so I'm like a little out of sorts. But I've been coaching for, man, I don't even know. It's been like almost 1.5 years, I think. But my journey has not been smooth sailing, I would say. I went from 1 baby to 2 over the course of the last 7 months. So I was coaching throughout pregnancy, and I'll just back up to the very beginning. When I got married, I was trying to have another baby, and I was having a really hard time, which was like really mentally exhausting for me, because my first son was a surprise and very easy. So when I was expecting to have another baby, I was like, well, this should probably happen quick and easy. I just figured it was going to be the same, and it wasn't. So I was looking for something just to like help me mentally and kind of focus on myself instead of just constantly worrying about like, why am I not getting pregnant or what's going on? So I started working out, and I was literally sending a girl like $20 on Venmo to send me workouts. And it was like exactly like what Beachbody is, these like video workouts, but she was making them up herself. And I didn't have an accountability piece at all. So I would send her $20. She'd send me 4 workouts for the week for a month. And then I wouldn't do them. So I was like giving her this money for no reason. So I was like, this is not working. I need somebody to help me. And that's when I saw Lauren Mayer's post. Don't know if there's more Laurens or Jenna's or whatever. But so Lauren was posting, and she was doing workouts, and she had a little boy. So I was like, oh, well, if she's doing it at home and getting all these results, I probably need to ask her what she's doing. So I literally messaged her, and I was like, I don't know what is going on, but you have to help me. I'm like, whatever you're doing, I'm doing it. And she was like, okay, yeah, sure. So she told me about it. And then I did my first program, 21 Day Fix, and I got pretty amazing results. On like the bottom right corner of my transformation, that's maybe after 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme. So those are my first 2 programs. After those, I decided I wanted to coach, because this was like legit, this actually worked. The accountability piece was amazing. I was hooked, and my husband was hooked as well. He actually got even better results than me. And then not too long after that, we ended up getting pregnant. So you can see my top right transformation picture. It looks a little different than most people's, but I am pregnant, very pregnant there. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. But I worked out my whole pregnancy, and it honestly was a game changer. I had my first son. I ate crap. I just whatever. I did whatever I wanted and gained a ton of weight and had a really hard time getting back into it. So this time I wanted just to see if I could be different and make healthier choices. And I did, and it was awesome. So the larger picture, oh my gosh, that was like 2 weeks ago. So I'm 7 months postpartum now, and that's the best shape I've ever been in. So I am so happy. The new program that I'm doing, Morning Meltdown 100, I'm doing it again because I'm so excited. It's been working great. And the accountability piece is what really got me inspired to do the coaching. So I'm a stay-at-home mom of these 2 kids, and I talk to children all day, and I have all my friends are at work. And I call my husband 3 times a day, and he's like, quit calling me. I'm like, okay, I need to get some friends. I need to get some mom friends. So I started coaching, and that's kind of where I am reaching out for all the moms, because I just feel, especially stay-at-home moms, that is a whole different beast to be home with these kids 24/7. Oh my gosh, that's like they never go to bed. So I got out of my comfort zone, and I went to Coaching Summit, which is like the big conference. I was 4 months postpartum, and I took a 4-month-old to Indianapolis, and it was really an eye-opener and a game changer for me to see all that coaching has to offer. And if you just come from a place of yes and give it a chance, the chances of it working out and being great are far better than if you just don't give it a chance at all. So I went there very open-minded, and I came back and I'm like, I'm in the right place. I'm doing the right thing. I want to help all the moms. I know that moms need this, and I know I can make a difference if I just get out of my comfort zone and kind of share that. So I started a mom group with Rachel, which I think you guys will hear from Rachel in a minute. And Rachel's quickly become my best friend. So instead of calling my husband 3 times a day, I just text Rachel 24/7 because she's a stay-at-home mom too. So we get it. And then my last picture is just my kids. I quit teaching because I just had horrible anxiety taking my son to daycare. I just could not do it. And I know that sounds almost pathetic, but it's true. So I got to stay home, and now I get to help other moms. And I'm just if you guys would have seen me 2 years ago, you would not even recognize the person that I am today. So I am so thankful for Lauren and Jenna and all of you guys. So that's about it for me.
Aw, you love that. Make me want to cry.
That is amazing. And I love how you said you wouldn't even recognize the person it used to be. I feel the same way. So now it's my turn to share my story. And I want to talk about the fitness aspect of everything first, because I feel like I could talk about this forever. I would consider myself a yo-yo dieter and also a recovering binge eater. So I don't know if any of you have experience with that, but I would come home from school. I taught 4th and 5th grade, and I would come home from school and literally just eat my way through all the cabinets, the whole refrigerator, sleeves of Oreos. And I wouldn't work out because I would beat myself up mentally for it. And that was kind of the pattern that we were in. And my husband, we actually went to high school together. He's my high school sweetheart. So we've been together over half of my life now, which is insane. And we got married. And this was my dream was to be in the best shape of my life for our wedding. And I know a lot of people say that. And I think I was very naive at that time. That was 5 years ago. And I did whatever it took to be in the best shape of my life. And I was for a while, but I was cutting calories. I wasn't eating enough. I was over exercising. I literally cut out everything that I loved. And so then, I looked damn good in that dress, I will tell you that. But the issue with that was once we got married, we went on our honeymoon. I stopped working out. We started ordering Chinese and pizza 5 or 6 days a week. And, fast forward a year into our marriage, and we were in this funk of just coming home from work at 5:30, exhausted because we had no energy. We weren't working out. We would get takeout. We'd watch TV for a few hours, and we'd go to bed. And that was it. And I found myself just living for the weekends. But once the weekend came, I was too tired to even enjoy them because I was just miserable. So then at that point, I was really happy with my career. I was, like I said, an elementary school teacher, 4th and 5th grade, and I poured my entire soul into teaching, I think my personality is I don't half-ass anything that I do. Like if I'm going to do it, I'm going to go all in and do it right. And I was like that with teaching. But long story really short, the elementary school that I started in ended up closing randomly. We found out mid-year in January that it was closing. Everyone got uprooted and sent to different places. And I ended up in a situation that was just very chaotic, I guess, is the best way that we could explain it, and very out of my control. And I felt like, the first place that I was in, I had a lot of leadership roles, and the principal that I worked with gave me so much responsibility and freedom to do pretty much whatever I wanted to do, as long as we had the kids' best interest in mind. And we would, plan all these things. And we actually even put on like an Ellis Island where my dad made all these props, and we came in and we had like the high school kids come down. Like it was this giant thing. So anyway, long story short, I was excited about teaching when I was doing that kind of stuff. So then I got to my next school, and all of that was just kind of ripped out. Like I was expected to just show up and do my job. And if I wanted to print things offline, that was fine. But like any other ideas I had were literally shot down before I could even get them out of my mouth. And I made it 3 years, And that whole entire 3rd year, I would go to school crying the entire way in the morning. And it got to the point where I had to pour myself into my fitness routine to give myself some kind of control in my life. And I think too, a big piece of it was just the fact that I had no leadership role whatsoever. And I was just like shoved into this place that I felt like I didn't belong. And so when I started doing these workouts, that was my one thing that I could find that was positive and get me back in. And so with that, I started coaching. I literally didn't know what coaching was. I loved this. This is so funny. I loved the supplements that came along with the programs, but I didn't even know that you would get a discount as a coach. So I was ordering them off eBay for a really long time. And so once someone told me, this is literally where I started, I had no clue. Once someone told me that you got a 25% discount on the superfoods, if I was drinking them anyway, I was like, well, hell, I'll just coach, whatever. It was literally what came out of my mouth. So I started coaching, and I got plugged into the community piece of this. And I felt like that was what I was missing. That was what I was missing when I was showing up to my teaching career every single day, and I was just going through the motions. Like I had this one thing now that I could make whatever I wanted it to be with people that I wanted to be around. And that was like the one shred of hope that just kept me going. And I know that might sound kind of ridiculous, but that was how I felt. And I remember calling my husband. I resigned from my teaching job last March. I'm coaching full time now. The year before that, when we were, discussing all of this and what our options were, I remember I was starting to have panic attacks, anxiety attacks, and I called on my way to school in the morning and I said, I really would rather wreck my car right now than go into work, because that made more sense to me to just get a little break from that place, like, than going did. And he was like, okay, we got to do something. And so we made the decision together that I would leave teaching, do this full time. And I love this picture in the middle, if you can see this. So this is Chad. That's my husband. Okay, so that's my husband. And this was actually last March. We went on a cruise through Beachbody. Beachbody rented the entire cruise ship out. And I was one of those skeptics that I didn't really know what was possible with this, because you see people talking about winning trips and earning this and earning bonuses. And I'm like, okay, yeah, sounds cool, but that's not realistic. And then I got to take him on this cruise, and we had $1,000 of spending money when we were on the cruise, and we got to dance. We're doing the wobble right now. This is Jericho, the trainer from Morning Meltdown 100. So if you were familiar with that program, we got to do the wobble with her. Like, it was amazing. And I think for the first time too, that kind of opened Chad's eyes, and he's like, maybe this is a real thing. Like, this is really cool. And so then this picture on the bottom here kind of shows where we're at right now, because by me just taking a chance on this, showing up consistently, pouring myself into this and connecting with awesome kick-ass women like all of you who are on this call right now, by doing that, I was able to leave teaching, and we actually bought a 34-foot RV. You can see it in the bottom corner. And that was our summer project, was to fix it up for the Cleveland Browns tailgate mobile. So now on home games, we go up there on Sundays, and it's really been a mental shift for me to enjoy my Sundays and feel like I can be present in the moment and have a beer with him and go to the game and have a blast. Whereas before, my Sundays were just crippled with anxiety. And if I wasn't meal prepping, I was like, my whole week was shot. So that's kind of where we are at right now. And I don't think it matters going into this if you have that vision to make this a full-time thing or not. I think that's something that you'll figure out as you go, because I didn't. I really didn't when I started this. And once I saw what was possible, the sky's the limit. So that's kind of my story.
Love it.
Thank you. And I'm going to turn it over to Rachel.
Oh, I always feel so anxious following up after Jenna, but I'll do my very best. Let's see
Stop
here.
it right now.
All right. So hi guys. My name is Rachel. I never know where to start these like my story things, but we'll start with my transformation picture, because at the end of the day, what this is really about is doing it for you. I mean, that's what it's got to be about. Like, no matter what, if you're a coach or anything like that, these programs work, the nutrition plans work. So you got to do it for you at the end of that, first and foremost. So the picture on the left, I was right in between like 6 or 7 months postpartum with my first daughter. And then the picture on the right was just a few weeks ago, actually. So my daughter's now 15 months. So it hasn't been that long. And just, I just follow the nutrition plan and workouts. That's really all I do. But I guess when I took that first picture, I mean, I think you can kind of tell I wasn't exactly feeling myself. Me and Lauren kind of relate where we have similar, I had a hard time figuring out who I was after I had my first kid. I never really was someone that was like, oh, I'm going to be a mom one day or anything. So when it happened, like, obviously, like, I loved it, but I just delved all my attention into her that I just didn't care about myself at all anymore. I was just so obsessed with, like, how do I be a good mom? How do I be a good mom? And how do I do this? How do I do that? And I didn't do anything for myself. I literally sat in a recliner chair with my newborn baby attached to my boob and just cried a lot. I cried a lot. So Beachbody is something that Lauren had asked me to do way before I got married, which I wish I would have taken her up on it, because oh my God, that's another story. Wish I would have taken her up on it, but regardless, I was finally like, one day I was just like, fine, I'll try it. Fine, I'll try it. I'll just try it. Fine, whatever. Like, obviously I've been stalking you forever. Like, fine, I'll just try it. And I did. And then I was like, well, I'll just be a coach, because I like pre and post workout. So what's the difference? Like, literally it ends up costing about the same to be a coach and not to be a coach. I was like, fine, I'll just do that. But I'm not actually coaching. I'm just working out. So I started with that. And I was working at the time, part-time. I went back to work when my daughter was about 6 months old. I hated my job. Long story short is I've been chasing careers for a long time, guys, a long, long time. I've had 2 college degrees that are wasted because I hated them, because I told myself that the only way to actually have a successful career was by using a college degree and whatever. Sorry, I go on a little rant there. I'm a little frazzled. But anyways, so I was working a job I hated, but then I started working out and I started feeling better about myself. And I really started being like, oh, I get it. I just need to work out and eat right and show other people what you can do. Okay, I can do that. So I started doing that. And then that gave me the confidence to start doing things like personal development and start reading books about how to be better and how to be happier. And I was like, well, this is nice. This feels really good. And then I quit my job. I just decided one day that I was better than that. And I quit my job, and I really started this just as posting myself on Instagram every once in a while, do my workouts. And now it's like, I just love it. I get to help other moms me and Elizabeth, as she already said, we kind of are doing this moms group together, and I'm connecting with other moms. I'm staying home with my daughter. I found myself again. I don't feel as lost. Like, I'm not just Rachel, a mom, but I'm Rachel, a fitness badass, also a decent cook. And I'm also a great mom. And I also am an entrepreneur. Like, how fun. And I can pretty much just, I don't know. It's just great. I get to share my story. And the middle picture there kind of talks about how I've grown as I've gotten out of my comfort zone. I've always been, even though I come off as somebody that's very confident, people tell me I appear confident. I'm not. It's something, I think it's a facade I've always put on. If I pretend I'm confident, that people will think that. But I never like to hang out with new people. I'm very reserved. I'm like, I don't really want to be friends with anybody though. Like, that sounds scary. But those are pictures of some of the local coaches getting together. And we're just, I don't know, just realizing that we're all just like, we're just human beings. Like, why are we so afraid to talk to each other, guys? We're just human beings. So that's pictures of us hanging out. And I actually committed to going to Summit this upcoming in 2020, which is huge. I would never do that. I would never do that in a million years. Be like, yes, I'm buying this ticket. And that's just putting confidence out there that I'm going to be successful with this, that's going to be okay. Like, that's just going to be another stepping stone for me. Obviously the other picture is me, my husband, and my daughter. And at the end of the day, this is for them. I've always been a worker. I'm a worker. So just being a stay-at-home mom, I felt guilty. I felt like I can't just be a stay-at-home mom. Like, I have to build an income. I have to do something. Like, I can't just have my husband supporting me. And there's nothing wrong with that. Of course, I'm taking care of our daughter. But that's a whole nother thing. But to me, I felt like, no, I'm a worker. So now I get to provide a little bit of an income to support my family, but I'm also home with my daughter all the time. And now, like, work, fitness, and health is just going to be part of her life. She's not going to know any better. She's got no choice. Like, that's just going to be everything. And I don't want to talk too much longer because I always get on these rants, but just know that this didn't just start because I was a mom. I have had a long history of body image issues. I've been obsessed with my weight and my body and what I look like in the scale. I've been obsessed for years. My whole life, I've been an addict to that. And for the first time now, I don't care what the scale says. And I don't care if I go out and I eat a treat, or appropriately, like, portion treat, and I have a beer and I do that thing, because it doesn't matter, because I know for once I'm doing this for life. I'm addicted to it now. Like, I'm just addicted to it. I'm a fitness addict now and I love it. So hopefully I didn't ramble too much, but my night didn't go as planned.
That was amazing.
Like 15 minutes ago.
That's amazing. Well,
That was so good.
So good. I love that you're doing things a healthy way now. And I think that's what's so important to share. Like, the meal plans and the nutrition plans that we follow, it's not like a fad diet, quick fix type of thing. It's literally changing you for the rest of your life. And I think that's why I believe in it as much as I do too. And I mean, bottom line, you have to believe in this to be successful as a coach. And I think that's what's so powerful with our team, is because we have that shared belief. So I cannot friggin' wait for you to come to Summit, by the way. So Summit is like our national convention, and next year it's in New Orleans. And the group of girls we have going is going to be so fun. So you're all invited if you start coaching.
Yep. We still have a chance for you to go, because it's not till July.
You can earn a free ticket too, which we'll talk about after you sign up. So anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of free tickets, that leads us to Jenna Z and Jenna B, the girl, our first lovely coach. They are on their way to earning their free Summit ticket. So yay.
Yay. All right. So, my name is Jenna Zebel, so I'm one of the 3 Jennas on here. And the first photo you can see of my transformation, the first photo is after I had my daughter. So before I want to explain like what I look like before and after, you just need to understand where I live. So I am from like a larger city, a bigger suburb, met my husband in college, and then we decided it was more economical to go live in his hometown. So currently I live like in Iowa by cornfields. Like, I live by nothing. And when we first did it, I knew it was best for our family, but the amount of isolation that I felt was the first bit of depression and anxiety that I felt. Also, I'm a teacher, like a few of the other ladies, and add that to it, it's just a lot of stress. So I have no friends. I'm in the middle of nowhere. I have a teaching job that's super stressful. And I just kind of fell like into depression, even though I'm really good at putting a happy face on. So we lived there for a while. I was surviving through my teaching job. I had my daughter, and I just kind of had mental breakdowns. And then on top of that, if you see that far right photo, I decided to get my master's degree. So I'm already like drowning in depression, anxiety, like lonely. But I thought, well, we need more money. I'm a teacher, and the only way you can make more money is by spending a crap ton of money getting your master's degree. So I got my master's degree, which was heavily based off of brain research. Then go to the middle picture where I finally decided to run a half marathon. So there's my family, my husband, my son Hudson, my daughter Harper. And I had creeped Lauren like no other on her Instagram photo or like stories. And what got me was, if another teacher can get up every day and work out who has a kid, then I can. So I started watching her, and I did Beachbody workouts with my friend Erica, who's listening right now. And I did them, and I started feeling better. And with the brain research that I understood from my master's program, I knew why it was working. So for the first time in my life, I was working out just to feel better, instead of like what a lot of the other girls talked about, like just the physical look. And finally, when Lauren reached out to me, I was like, whatever. Yes, I could do this. Like, I watched you, and I might as well make money, because I was already like talking to people about how wonderful it is. So I started coaching just to get the discount, because why wouldn't you? I used to search Amazon and try to find all these supplements, but the Beachbody supplements are like heavily researched, plant-based. They're good for you. And also the workouts are amazing. So finally I started coaching, and then one day Jenna Brown messaged me and was like, hey, I like you. And I was like, I kind of like you too. And I realized that somehow the universe aligned, where I found Lauren, or Lauren found me, and I found Jenna. And I think I finally found like who I'm supposed to be here. If you could see, like someone else said 2 years ago, like I used to just come home and probably drink a box of wine, because the girl on the left on that transformation picture like was so unhappy with her life and so lost. And when you live in the middle of nowhere, you don't have options. And when I found all these women, I had the confidence to have a platform for my ideas, and people started coming out of the woodworks. And there are a lot of people out there that need help, like a lot. There's a lot of stressed out moms and teachers. So if you're considering coaching, like this is what it is. It's not pushing products. It's a community of women. And now I feel like I can help change families, because I'm brave enough to get out there and share my story. And my family's benefiting from it. So I thank like Jenna and Lauren for all the hard work they do, because I've done Pampered Chef, I've done certain things, and someone just threw me product and left me. But like Jenna and Lauren are like, here's coaching 101, here's how to do everything. They check up on you, and it's not that, it's a community. And I'm very blessed to be a part of it. And that's it.
Well, we're blessed to have you. Like, if you guys are watching this and you're not currently on our team, you need to be on it, because it's seriously a family. Like, this has been Jenna and I's dream when we, started coaching, and we didn't have a team. We just had each other. We had girls that would fall off and weren't really, we just wanted to find our people and our tribe. And like, when we get on these calls every Monday, because we do this every Monday, not this every Monday, but we like get on and talk about whatever. It just feels like, and some of these girls I've never even seen in person. I've just only seen on the computer, and I feel so close to them. And our team is amazing, and I cannot wait to spend New Orleans times with everybody, because I just feel like it's going to be even better. Like, we just get closer and closer the more we get together. So I love it.
And I think too, I mean, it's just amazes me that we can connect on Instagram or on Facebook or, you know, from across the country. And I literally feel like I could tell you guys anything, like, and you wouldn't judge me for it. I know that.
Right.
So it's so powerful to have a group of women that you connect with on this deeper level and who really understand you. And I think that's what our team is about. It really is. So we want to kind of go into how you can get started. So I hope that our stories inspired you. And this is just a small fraction of our team that shared tonight. We have so many other women who have absolutely incredible stories. And it really is just about sharing your story. So I don't want you to be sitting back and watching this thinking like, oh, I don't really have a story, because you do. Yeah. And it's important. And that is what we as a team will kind of help you figure out, like, what is your story? How do you want to share it? How can it help other people? So very simple how you get started. Basically, you're just going to commit to your own fitness journey, and whoever invited you to this call will message you. You can message us, and we're just going to decide on the best package for you, because there are so many different ways to go, and we're obviously not going to go through them all right now, but however we can get you started, it'll be perfect for you. And then
just to stem off that really quick, just in case you are wondering what a package is, most likely it's going to contain the Beachbody On Demand, which is the workouts, the nutrition, and then one of the supplements, whether or both you want, but like Shakeology or the Performance line. So that's kind of what you'd be looking at if you decide.
Yep, and we can talk about that a little bit. I know all of us are pretty obsessed with the pre-workout. If you follow us on Instagram, you see that for the most part. And then there's the post-workout supplement that Lauren was saying that helps you recover and not get so sore. So I know a lot of us use that too. And then the Shakeology, that's your nutritional supplement. So if you have cravings and your digestion is kind of out of whack, that'd be good for you there. And we can talk a lot more about that when you're ready to get signed up. And then I loved how Jenna Z was kind of just talking about the community aspect of everything, because we have weekly calls every single Monday. We get on a team call, we hang out, we talk business, we talk strategy, we talk about what's going well, we talk about what we're going to work on. And then we also have a full training that you can take at your own pace. And what Lauren and I did, I don't know where she went, but what we did when we first started this, we were on our own. We had really no guidance with this. It was up to us to figure it out, but we had such strong belief that we could make this work and that we were going to, that she and I just kind of plugged along and figured things out as we went. So what we did not want coaches who joined our team to ever feel like they were alone. We want you to feel like when you start, you have all the tools you need to be successful, so then we can focus on you. So what we did is we created a full training that we will get you plugged into. You can take it at your pace, and it's really everything you need from day one and to build a 6-figure business. It's just up to you how fast you want to take things. So
yeah, and just like Jenna said, you know, we started with absolutely no, I mean, there's trainings everywhere. There's YouTube, there's Beachbody has good trainings and things. There's great pages that you can be on through Beachbody. But when you don't have, you know, somebody directly working with you or somebody to kind of talk to personally, you know, it's harder. And a lot of people would quit because it's a lot of grit that you have to have, but it was so worth it. And that's also why we developed the training, was because we want to make sure you feel loved and supported at whatever pace that you want to go. But you can literally make this business work no matter what, no matter, you know, if we have top of the line training or not. If you are willing to do it, you will do it and you will be successful with it.
Absolutely. Yep. And I think too, what I love about our team is that we work together to really help you figure out your brand. And I know, who was talking, I think Jenna B, you were kind of saying earlier that it's really not about selling products. Like, it's literally about sharing who you are and putting yourself out there, putting your story out there. So I think when you figure out your brand, it makes it a lot of fun. And I think we really have all put a lot of work in, but we figured out who we are and what parts of us we want to share and how we do that authentically. And I think that's what makes this awesome.
Yes.
Okay. Technicalities.
So I'm sure we'll open up. We're going to wrap this up really quick so you guys can ask some questions if you have any. But I'm sure you're like, well, how does this all work? So we wanted to give a little description of the technicalities of things. So to be an active working coach, so where you're able to make income and, all of that fun stuff, you are obviously going to invest in yourself. So when you sign up, you're going to get your package with your workouts, your nutrition, and one of the supplements or both, whatever you want to do. You do get a 25% discount as a coach. Pretty much everybody on this platform started as a discount coach. So that's a pretty enticing piece there. But basically, to be an active coach, you would invest $50 or more a month in products. And honestly, if you're going to coach and you're not going to use Shakeology and believe in it, and you're not going to use Energize and Recover and believe in it, please don't coach. Because if you're not going to be all in, then this isn't for you. So, for the longest time, I was always afraid to say, like, well, if you want to coach, you have to be into Shakeology and the pre-workout. I'm like, yeah, well, no shit. Like, you have to. Like, that's something that you have to love. And I'm telling you right now, if somebody asks me what pre-workout, I'm going to say Energize is the best freaking pre-workout out there. It is vegan. It is all natural. It doesn't give you jitters. It's amazing. I've tried other stuff, and I'm telling you right now, I love it. I just tried pumpkin spice Shakeology today. I'm obsessed with it. I just ordered myself another box. It's literally so good. So if you haven't tried anything, we do have samples and you can try it. But if you're not into it and you don't love it, then, it's okay. Coaching just isn't for you.
Well, and to kind of piggyback on that, I think that makes a lot of sense the way Lauren's putting it, because think about how you authentically share something now. I mean, if you go to Target and you buy a shirt that you absolutely love and you post about it, it's the same thing. If you're doing this and doing the pre-workout and the post-workout and the supplements, the workouts, and you freaking love it, you're going to want to share it. If you don't, you wouldn't go to Target and buy a shirt you don't like and then post about it. Like, no one does that.
Yeah, that would be silly.
That would be ridiculous. So the more you love it, the more you believe in it, the more you're going to believe in yourself, and the more you're going to believe in the business aspects of everything too. And I think that's where your confidence comes.
Right. And then if after this call, like maybe you've never tried anything Beachbody before, then why don't we have you start as a client and just go through the workout programs, try the things. And then if you're like, what is this? This is amazing. I want to share it with all my friends. You can always sign up as a coach later. But like, I'm telling you right now, you got to try the stuff. If you've tried the stuff and you love it, you need to share about it. Because like I think Rachel said, everyone needs help. Or maybe it was Jenna. I can't remember who it was. But somebody said, everyone out there, there's so many people out there that need help with their health and fitness. And they need stuff that's not screwing with their body and people telling them that this is healthy and it's actually not. Like there's so much bullcrap out there that people are getting duped by. And so it's our job to send them really amazing things and to help them along the way. Well, so the second thing, go ahead.
And they need to see you doing it, because I mean, that's what Jenna Z said. She's like, I sat back and I watched Lauren get up at 4:15 in the morning and teach full time and have a kid. And I was like, I can do that. She had that realization that it was possible for her only because she watched Lauren be consistent with it for so long. And so I think, you're going to connect with people as you're doing this who hear your story and see a piece of them in you. That's the whole point. Okay.
All right. Number 2. So Beachbody does a really nice job of making our jobs easier, I guess. So if you're posting on social media, you're sharing your journey authentically, and somebody is interested, like they've been watching you, kind of like some of the girls said that they've been watching us, whatever, and they want to commit. Beachbody has an amazing little tool that you can send people links super easily. You have a website, just everything is so cohesive and so user-friendly. And you also have an amazing coach office that you can go back and dive into your customers and check on people and all of that kind of stuff. So they offer that to you, but they do have a $15.95 monthly fee to be a coach because they are providing so much value to you. There's training in your office. There's, challenge group templates if you're wanting to run a challenge group but you're not quite sure how to post. There's all of those things for you. And also their customer service is amazing. So if somebody has an issue with something, they can contact customer service. You can direct them to them and they deal with returns, shipments, all of that stuff. And I don't know if any of you have been on here has dealt with any other MLMs where they make you buy a bunch of product, put it in your basement and ship it out yourselves. That is not what this is about at all. The only things that you will have, I guess like products or items you will have will be what you use yourself. So that's what the $15.95 a month fee will be. And that's required as a coach. Like that's not something that you can like skip. Like that's something, you know, if you're going to be a coach, like you have to do that. So, okay.
And it's nice too, because everything comes with a 30-day money back guarantee. So if you try something and you don't love it or your customers don't love it, you can send it back and get refunded. So that's nice that our customer service has that.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that is all we have for
Okay.
you. So let's open it up for questions.
We have a couple minutes because we don't want to keep you guys on too long, but does anybody have questions?
I don't have a question, but can I say one more thing just real quick? If you're somebody that ever works out and you fall off and hop back on and fall off and hop back on and fall off and hop back on again, this is the only thing that has kept me going, because guess what? Everyone cares what they think. And the moment you announce that you're a coach, people are watching you. And there have been times that I have wanted to give up. Like, I got a kidney stoning crap. Like, people saw me go through all this. Like, I got my wisdom teeth out. Like, I do all that. But it was coming back and saying, okay, guys, guess what? I got sick. I did this, but here I am, because I didn't want them thinking, well, that Rachel girl, yep, she fell off. She sucked. She didn't do it. Knew it. No way. It's going to be like 5 years later. They're going to be like, she's annoying, but I like her. So.
And that is so true, because I feel like a lot of times when you first start this, sometimes people are like, okay, cool, but she's going to quit, you know? And sometimes it's even like your friends, family, people close to you that kind of wait for that to happen because they want to feel better about themselves if they're not doing it yet, you know? And so for you to show up consistently, it makes a huge difference. And like Lauren broke her toe. I was over at her house the other day and she dropped a shelf on her toe and she was obviously not happy about it because it was literally purple. And I'm like, wait, like think how cool this is, because you get to show people how you can modify with a broken toe. She's like, you're right. This is cool. Like, it into a positive that she had a broken foot. I don't know. So
yeah, totally.
Development, I guess.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, no questions at all. Seriously? Wow. I feel like this is a first.
I know. No comments, concerns, questions.
I'll always comment because I'm like Rachel. I always like talking. But I just really want to go back so much to the community, because anybody who's been approached by like a weird, awkward Beachbody coach might have a misconception. A lot of the people I talk to from my hometown are like, so-and-so has already contacted me. I was like, I'm not her. I don't do that. I provide you with more and I don't leave you, just like Jenna and Lauren don't leave people. So I think if you feel nervous that you're going to be a weird person, and the tools they've given you make it so that you're not that awkward, weird person that messages people that just had babies. Because that's rude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're never going to like make you make a list of 100 of your closest friends and family and people you haven't talked to since 3rd grade and go message them and invite. Like, that's not what this is. And I know sometimes there are misconceptions with that. Like, it's about building relationships with people, getting to know them and becoming friends with them. That's what we do. And now here we are, you know, a year later, and we have an awesome team of kick-ass women who literally I would trust my life with.
Yeah. And just one last thing, and it's 9:00. I'll make this quick, is once again, you heard all of our stories. We're all in different spots. I don't know if you noticed in our titles or whatever, some of us said Emerald Coach, some of us said Ruby, Diamond, 2-star Diamond. Those are just ranks that the business gives us like as recognition and things as we are advancing our business. But you guys, you can take this and do whatever you want with it. You can take it as just an accountability piece to get your ass up and get your workouts in. You can use this as well, I want accountability, but I also want to like do this with my best friends and stuff. Like, 'cause I think they'd be totally into this. Or I want to do this and make this a full-time business and make $1 million. Like, you can literally do whatever you want with this. And that's what the team is for, is to support you in whatever pathway that you want to go. We have coaches on our team ranging from girls who just want to do it as the accountability, which is amazing, to girls who have visions of making this an empire and being on the Today Show at some point. That's Jenna and I's, by the way. So like,
Spoiler.
we will be on the Today Show 2020. Put in your calendars. Just saying. Anyway.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that was the date, but
yeah. Oh, it's happening. Okay. So anyways, so we can really take it at whatever pace you want. So if you guys are, sitting here and maybe you're a little nervous to speak on the call, and I totally understand, we're going to get you out of that shell a little bit, kind of slowly get you out of that, because that is something that's going to make you a little bit more confident as you're, mingling with the team and doing all that kind of stuff. So it's totally fine if you're shy right now, but go ahead and contact the coach that invited you to this if you are ready to sign up, or if you have a couple other questions, a little too shy to say it on the whole call, go ahead and reach out to them, ask them the questions, and if they don't know the answer, they can contact one of us who knows the answer, so we can all help each other, and it's totally fine. So just go ahead and do that, and that is all. Thanks for joining us.
We will see you in the team page.